papa name Rich Jensen and you brother. Our mama say I for the camera. We are a Rich Jensen. When and you know, guys of Yehovah, a chair for near T4. I hire Tofiakwa TV into all online also. And our boss later, then you subscribe. So they be the good and the great content. Nyamenim diemu, nini nyanse mo di adom yenyina. Say, a setna for an aye to my moy or my papa. A moon said, be a becker can ye dear and near my fire home. You baby, better to your nomoisi. Instead, yes, be a new man. When you be a tea, now when you be so a catcher of a from. We political update. Your organ idea the GH Besoso. Because he and Kaya my munsem ya. Into Benkoka, obi my munsem. Namo upon 4 hot door at it near Nintini, and you know for me, you know, a cassia pa. Elementum, meeting the Rich Jenfi, your host for today's content and our program. And to know, and before you free in first answer. To open the first thing and stuff. I think I'm going to read them in young couple. Bambo, and Tommy Crass, Nipedias, me home, me fears, me muscle, me jumas, dear Biara, I curse, stagnancy, plateau, shabri, as I left. Mike and I was a manager 10 in the year, partner. And Owen Samoka. Oh, okay. I mean, shall be brave. But so the Mr. Saki the best also. No other the position title. No so I had a Akekaho. And into the near Kunin and it's how. Well, what they say as the Kofon, which are president in the home. Obabo, my non a shamara. I mean, sure. I know, okay, so on my left, I have. My brother that I don't want to mention his name for him. Na me person no anso bonedi. Minia udin na yentro jumadi no so.
Well, yeah, that I share for near TF nyina ase na no pay. The name remains Anointed Benson Asante Frimpong, of course.
So for chedin mo ye na edina diamonentem.
Anointed Benson Kwame Asante Frimpong.
Watch that the one in a day. Aka home, Kwame de almost used to cry the Kwame. Okay, so we are coming to discuss about more of the political issue and political issue specifically the prophecies of the prophets against the politics of the politicians. The prophecies of the prophets against the politics of the politicians. And first of all, before we delve or dive deeper, te August the income should be bree puya to ye Tiffany and for more walks of life. Aba omaimu ama menya sure say asimbia peja esen income she any the income she nature see ye ye papa mo asofo adehunu for any sumanfro for sana me putino because ebi ye camp prophecies are mostly ye channel to the Christendom, but it's not like that because ebi munsu frisumfu frobimu abechere say omunsu kura hunu biribi esi into ye call Christendom anymore. The prophet that I will call because a prophet now definitely the nichire honum or ma beka omo de ye nananom omo gunsa efre asase ya ne penifo se de omo beka no nso abeka omo de ye nuanom muslimifo nso ebi mu nso ayede abeka sada ne nyina ne se ye nsemfo ne adehunufo ne won adehunu nyina akopie parliament anasa akopie fikesie mu ama abeye daja na fan commission so ananka bribisi ekura nya dey because politics ne prophecies die nanka and shed that too much in our continent so bi ba kwaje nkom shekura na eja wakona sofu bi ho e kire honum na waje ne de boko no de pie be say de ya kam ya said national television kura no obekona kwabra ne teso na o kire moma we mi hume monko kan kire we sei mumkoka nchire we say na before see ebeba se eye eboa emoa ema oma epeja ema nipa etuhu baby obetu na namo we say no I'll first go to the side of prophecy said dear Quran prophecy ebeka ni twi mu say edi anase nkomhye and before we general you bring your ideas on the comment section they'll be posted we will talk about it but you pay insult we are not here mentioning names to condemn anyone we want to know what is in the atmosphere and understand well whether it helps it doesn't help and as a buan na ye hu kwan emfaso mo aye ne prayer ya ye hu said ye besi etutu ya namo ye kromu yenti before I go to Apostle Benson Asante I'll go to my manager the prominent manager na watch na adwene ho prophecy kura nkom hye kura ano ye busa se nkom hye me ba cho onim de ne wo adwen kire kakra ho ne say
whoever is in charge now almost say I deal with be in the next minute no and this what you say betiako na say it will be o mo e be ya na ye pimpi no mimi hu ye na me da hye menka it say we asa na me ka say oh I dey kwa me hu you in the national no prophecy no ye ade a ABC dache with me the next minute na we yakopon enam so
okay, Madam shall be brave. And I'll go to my brother. I say prophecy, and the field of pastoralship or tiship no as of what be into the prophecies on the side of the Christendom and not general knowledge, whether Muslim for and I can't any swadi in general. I think he also can explain better. Yehudi was a compacho, so for Benson anointed. The prophecy di send abekasa for na send abechi myself on all sides, not on the in the Christendom alone.
In general, no, it's a shadow of what is to come. The ABC Echna, the AC Imprim, and the ABA HM. And prophecy in general is like forecasting that which is to come, and I say make a projection based on an inspiration, whether by divinity or divination. Now, the reason why I'm putting it into that context, divinity has got to do with God, and divination has got to do with other forces. And remember, whenever there is an information being released in the atmosphere, and I say a great man, and I say something be a preceded ahead of time, bebebiano. Two types of information are mostly released. Bako by divination, and I mean, by divinity, I am Crawford, but consider by divination, you can say other sources like ABS soothsayers, CS, and others that predict based on inspiration that has got nothing to do with God. And the prophecy in itself, as I rightly indicated, a shadow of what is to come, and about in so many forms. Prophecies, sometimes God speaks until once your war kingdom I would like to emphasize or stress more about that. God mostly speaks to people via dreams, and I say through dreams, through trance. Sometimes it's instinctive, and sometimes also something that has got to do with imagination, and I say vision. Said the yanko for and I say ekano. And it's very important for a nation building, as a matter of fact, because yesterday I was listening to somebody. Na say Ghana hane Africa hano. There is this school of thought be an saying say we are so spiritual centric, and I say we are so centered around the spirituality of life. I hear Christosum any and I was listening to one man now he rightly emphasized about the fact that a country like China do not take their spiritual life for granted. Yes, maybe Christ and then Christianity may not be that popular. It was some part of the world. Sure. Because India. I can state categorically say a suma a year popular Buddhism and Hinduism. And it came from something. Okay, let me enlighten us at here for a little bit about Buddhism. There was a man, Mahama Buddha. Okay, that is the name. He was a prince. And once upon a time, now within the confines of the palace hall, and I said the palace now umpia bontinda. Into one day he desired and decided to step outside his comfort zone. And it was the first time he came into close proximity about the happenings in the world. Because there be no osha him fiho. And to name the air so ewa bontin. So he had that comfort and he had everything given to him on a silver platter. But the first time I would see Abonteno, he got to see, said there was a real life outside the palace hall, and I said outside the palace. For the first time he saw people for the first time he saw children playing on the street. A lot of things came into play. And at the end of the day, we are limited or plateaued to the comfort or the confines of the palace. There is a greater world outside. Buddha as Nidino Etiano and Nomuna Buddhism everybody. Enti Obisana was saying, Adentina onya sa comfort we na a man phone so abontia omobre. And the answer is not far fetched. Into the obeying say, Ubipi Esia Bontin, no one casako investigative ebia menkan saying, Akoshet said the Niama Bisia den, Ebisiako. So he went outside or compare forest baby no non quantanae. And according to historians now, or can I bomu said the Buddhism and also more and then Otanafa meditate for 3 days. And according to Omo Ekopi and his own researchers now, he even or like Ofrobasro, this will be as a word to Kakrano. Because Otana baby when unim the realm of meditation no always no humble the body and elevate or exalt the spirit. Until it got to a certain dispensation and a certain time. Abrantiano Itui said ye no more person or musitreno. Until for 3 days he was there. And at the end of the day, sorry, baby or tonight or yes, our program nana so this ejumano yet to holding the enlightenment. Okay, Diana say
okay, Namin shall be brave.
Sure.
So for the explanation of prophecies and how some people even received their enlightenment through some exercise they did. But I may perceive the 3 parts of prophecies: the authenticity of a prophecy, the purpose of a prophecy, and the impact of a prophecy on the individual and the community at large. Manager, and come share ye ananye in Rebecca say ye. Now how do I know the authenticity of a prophecy? Because the source of a prophecy matters a lot. Because source on the bemo who say asam na ye no kure be pra anaye be kum. Ye kwa the purpose and the impact on Ghana. Into your Ghana idea and come shall be. How do we know the authenticity? And I see ye kofa ye penny Elvis Ankara. So no na match rich rooms and come show we source ye and I say ye and sani adia tum sani ye kano saint butaye church ni nympha so another woody a debebe o mano. So let's first tackle with the authenticity of a prophecy.
Right. First of all, we can't say who analyze it.
Sure.
Who analyze now? Say I say money panic can. One true and I say true. And I say more. Okay. Government through honorable officer free anchor on money initiative, you know.
Sure.
And now on motive and say prophecy in the bar. Fabra. Now more analyze the idea, no. More share the authenticity. And some of two and more two. If my memory serves me right. Is it Isaiah 38:1 already? Isaiah Abraham Hezekiah area will be Nyamesuma Isaiah on occasion say Onshan and Zaman say that was the prophecy of
And Yechremohana Ezekiel a king. The say in our days a president. Na okoye no kwakachire say Onshan and Zaman say no be. Now person who the position of Ezekiel. And the position of Isaiah near the compare Yansu Yen Mudi. Sure. Okay.
He went to the king straight. One fan got a baby and good
okay.
One fan got a baby and so must say, and what can you say? And I say, if you only see, and I saw you say, he went to the king straight. And I almost say, was it Elijah or Elisha? Emra, is it Naaman, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good. On say already one con Osumai.
Osumai.
Catch or he say Uncle 7 times.
Sure.
You understand? So say these are two different instances. Bako Okoi.
Sure. Osumai.
You understand? And he has say, you know, prophet be our better say, Uncle Mass information say, you know, he or she will not be wrong. And will be so back. Depends the intended
target.
Target, you know, directly, you know, also is not far from wrong.
Okay, so if I am to enter here, the solution to the problem, and otna baby the suma is one cancer is a oncoton's ruling, and not the exact problem. And here was so deep for who say or how we, and then so are non different from how no. And it's our public lab because moon flow you, mammy. And as a moon cancer to go you we. Elisha Dia can ye, moon cancer is a uncle Tunsu as a messimu 7 times. There's a problem, Nimpo. It is the men of Mijina Benkuma and the family, Nimpi Pa, name and a day, Eco Tunsum, Amakoramania day, Mante. It tells how covered the prophecy or the direction was given. Then Yeshua so be a public place. Say Naaman, because Naaman was almost like a king because or an army commander, second in command. Inti za okachento onko ye we na betro hawa nti onko ye we ase nimguase kakrebi ye dey etara. So I love the way our baby of free but now I wanted to expand it. You the solution or the Bible nti say mon kanchero no say onko ye we no. Okay.
Inti there's a bit to say this one can even this one was direct. It was Osumai and a call in Panako. In effect, in a or no one can cry and a coy.
because you're representative into na no two voice ma it is said the onwana
the bottom line is say adie no ba nipa na adie no nti when your vision is so kon direct
I was so kon direct from all perspective no I was say unya vision na okonipa na ho direct
kon direct either say one kasa na obeko ana say obesuma
amayako
nti na back to the authenticity of the whole thing now say first of all the person that will carry message they carry the fruit of the spirit.
Sure.
Say, you desire listening in age, Sandy Pano or qualified. Does he qualify to be a prophet or to be a carrier of the message in our air?
Okay.
So, and authenticity in making because if so qualified there, because it's by their fruit, you shall know them.
Oh, no, very good.
Oh,
I love that.
You understand? It is a because we say because me no be a team. And if I call no any revelation na me ni ho. Friends about me say you and I were not there.
Sure.
It's then remember who say anyway no can say Abraham Crampo Cantabi. Voice in the Bible say on sorry no on kono. The voice could have been Satan's voice, could have been God's voice. But Obilibi said he trusts in God so much. Obilibi said or some covenant with God. Said message you is from God.
Sure.
What I say. It's until say you be nyasa dear no na afe ama injidie it for instance if I have so much trust in you say overly I mean with time no my Bible realizes said no there is some character in you are a depicted on Yakopon. It's be a catching the and I will take it serious because I know say and amount you are on the path of God.
Sure.
It's a message in the Bantina. Papa Elvis can say your money and analyze it because message in the business will be also the
okay.
So when I mean, so your coupons so the message before will be on your dear so and I have to deliver message, you know.
Okay.
When we also for if
didn't I discuss it to gather the knowledge then
exactly.
In the end, we will know what and how we should carry.
Also, I want to come in here. Me pese ye share the bin so wa. On say Papa kase and a manager kase he made mention of one thing via the carrier of the message and not say the messenger and whoever is carrying the message. You know. But at the end of the day, who determines a true and a false prophecy? Yen share the bi wa. There is this school of thought. And when Paul was on his way to Damascus,
sure.
He encountered God on the road. Oye nyame bo ne hwe from wie no na ni fry and oye no ka kire ne say ye wo hwan ewura no say me nyankopon awoye the whole time. Of course oye no ka kire ne say there is a man called Ananias, go and look for Ananias. Sa time na kifasa obehye nkom say obi amfa odwanmra afi no awie no wo ho no esofo pani na Peter ewo ho na Paul wo ho na apostles ndodo na wo ho eye name a
can say omo di Yesu ekura
the movers and shakers within the confines and within the context of the spiritual realm no ewo ho. But he said go and look for a man called Ananias. It means that enye nyankopon krofo nyina nso ne yeni mo. Sometimes no some of these even say you made mention of Elvis a free young cry. The ye will pull be any microphobia or I am tempted to believe say they believe say okay we more and this particular group of people and the message bar okay maybe we will grade it and as a big Giatum said this message no authentic meaning if you are getting the import of what I'm saying now there may person me trying to say
I say yeah
you believe because they have a proven record of capability to perform. But as I indicated, sometimes God can bypass the known and use the virtually unknown. So at the end of the day, who determines a message we false and are true? The other day Elijah can say be Osi odifo and as I say nyameme nkwamini odifo amakawa kroma. There are 7,000 hidden prophets and these are virtually unknown people. But then I am virtually unknown by a man of God. And there are others in the system who have the name and have everything. But the point is that if say a message is being delivered by me and the message echo to some penny for now, the importance now is some of the JSM are they going to, I don't know if you are getting what I'm saying here. Are they going to see it and I say see the weight of the message now, media mano? Because it's not coming from the one they perceive to be a mouthpiece or a messenger of God. You won't for ni bi how you feel so much din. Into way in the body ebia okay because what can be done inti because what din inti no ebia or also for of late we are having a conversation now you didn't come about gold and all this stuff. Although I can confidently tell you say a comfort no me use a comfort as a case study here. Omo wo TV so ewo radio so ye dede no. I can boldly say majority of them no eye omo kra na intwatew. But omo kuta adom anaze kuta that spirit no omode ye adwuma na kasa no. A lot of them are unknown. Omugu krobi achi. Oko in the olden days edi ye ni edi for powerful men of God. Although na omo baby omo ti o. They were not known, they were not heard. But yen to me in fast our time no meto to enemu because whether we like it or not, and then near my day, assistant, we've moved from that archaic time, and I said that prehistoric time, and now we are into a new dispensation, and we say social media are taking the center stage. So a lot of people are heard. But at the end of the day, you know, as soon as see the bar, because he named it, you know, yabejiatum, na be so the bar. So at the end of the day, who determine? Maybe a message na medeba no, a good message, a bebo our mind no. But because every you will be no, how would the message? And other for one thing, so Krani say, sometimes no access to this particular group of people. Say you made mention of the fact say message neba, and who be here cross say will be a bekoni partner. So how do you even access that particular person when it is perceived say you are nobody?
Okay.
So I have a message be for a very powerful man be, but at the end of the day, you know, how do you even assess that person?
That is it.
Okay,
so my question now is, should we skip the authenticity of a prophet and his prophecy to the purpose of the prophecy? Because sometimes the time frame is very limited. Within the space of 24, 48, 72 hours maximum. And I would deliver a message say, by divination or by divinity, I have received a message for you specifically. Specificity is not your juma. I want you urgently. And like my brother first narrated said, our current days are not like the old days. Unlike the old days are. You two who were from and some and they two who were social media so and I thought they been so the access to the person
becomes a problem
in question. The crowd becomes a problem. The reception after access in the crowd another thing. And you know, should we skip the authenticity? Because the whole pressure the authenticity of the prophet avena abehe de suban we kura so atwempena wa ha we kura so ayese wa ha ansa no abegye ne nkomhye na di ana na me question pa edi kan say ye na nanom akomfo sabe say na wode nkomhye ba kuromu a ne yakohwehwe say na na yerenom ya 5 me wompena 2 kura hye akire ho ansa ne agye nkomhye na di ana
no okay enti omo ye fa say ne na nanom no omo system no na say ne tie so omo kura mbo no omo gye awadu di you understand
okay
for 5 so the assembly by for 5 no because say no.
Sure.
I love your answer. And me push you away Roma. Yen and anom said you know musija conforne our do dimpono. Na me sure so much real na cocaine and na draw to di. Now see our conforming so much dot. Into me question the dot to watching. Now me find determine say the prophecies are genuine. Okay.
Over time, no, or no matina. Wakakan sema, and send me and some do na bemua. It's easy for such a person to be accepted. Not in some of can be a bejedi. Yes. What I say?
Great to you, Dada. Onum's a great answer. And now, then you have skipped because sometimes they
skipping is very survival.
Good. And I know you're not deal. But the buyer Christo Mua. Sans some kind in a sense, Sunny Jordan in a so. But I say, and it's only when you and your master say, we indulge yourself in a Unyakopon and Benwo because Unyakopon Pesano. What I say?
Okay.
Into Unyakopon MP and San. Unyakopon MP Jot, Unyakopon Peri.
Okay, so if I am to come in here, me who are calling for my cancer.
I still stand there. Should we skip the authenticity?
Great.
Of the one prophesying?
Near her message.
Look at the message and the purpose of the message.
One say, I can't matter say was it divinity in your
divination.
Very good differences. And I won't say. Me the Abraham example, no? And in our tea, it could have been Satan's voice, God's voice. What I say, it means that Satan also catch.
Sure.
Satan also or say like in the end times, you know. Satan crumble can come in a form of an angel.
Sure.
No, be can so much
God like being.
Obey and century.
Yeah.
What I say, there is that possibility. Say, being a voice from Satan and on what is going to happen.
But okay. Also for one thing is because it's coming from Satan, should we disregard the message? It will also another message, and also something.
One way is all who's a free Satan.
That view. But I want us to assuming it's from Satan, but if it's to rescue, bring deliverance, I still believe there is something that should be taken into consideration. At the end of the day, you know, also for young say Kaye Kunya accident and collaborate, you know. And even if it's coming from Obi or Comfort, I perceived, say he's coming from divination. I also have the conviction it should be taken into consideration, irrespective of who the carrier of the message is, and also the messenger is. Because at the end of the day, you know, the message is to bring deliverance.
Yes.
It should be entertained.
Inti has a nominate government in the Bay Adrian. Say if the prophecy comes, that's what they buy. You're sure that they are pastors. When you're sure that or Bible, God reveals to redeem.
No, God reveals to redeem. Redemption. I won't say but I don't know the exact quotation. But he's doing well. I don't know the exact quotation.
I don't think it's our Bible.
No, it's not in the Bible. But Revelation is supposed to bring redemption.
Exactly.
But it is also subject to a particular work. This or before say redemption about. Or say upon Mountain Zion, there shall be a deliverance. Okay. Or say upon Mountain Zion, there shall be a deliverance. But upon, and what is the Zion? The Zion has got to do with God. Even before deliverance will come, it should be accentuated or connected with God. You understand? Deliverance until say bibi beye ebeka hon. So the notion that God brings to redeem so enshrined in us. And as a matter of fact, who deliver message you or say God reveals to redeem, so they take it for granted. But revelation is always a breeding ground for, and I say for deliverance, yes.
Okay.
But I say we have
some revelations from God or by a spirit given to a man.
Yeah.
Mostly your Bible first time to read and say he needs not even your help. You need to do nothing. I, the Lord, by my mercies, I want to do this for you. Maybe you will, Mama. Because I put Israel for Exodus. A radebe catch your Moses said, catch your Israel for say, Monkama come on to you. Now, me way, na me be na Egypt for na Missouri for who won't you. Yes, there is a channel and a realm of God. And the prophecies are, and then the D or the man and ma, a D former wakano. I thought that they are only here more. But here, what do I catch Ezekiel? I can try to say, this time a way will be way. Meme dear, can be peso out to me, but she shall fear in some and say, there is something you must do. and now the OD for the Yamanam, the Sobaka and say, catch your name and say, Uncle Tons swim, say, and Pranso, Nana Hobertono. So there are prophecies that it needs your human collaboration.
Sure.
You have to
And
work
what's
on
all your bribi wo it's your what the air fresh bra because bribi wo where was an a body fraud and coming to me short about it. Because is it coming from authenticity and is the purpose right? Is it for fame? And for this one, I think two major prophets never out clearly. But a prophecy to an individual say, "Wo a better way you catch us say for flight from pennyfo because Hanomua." Because there be nearby where the Kuram any day. Anyway, from this perspective, no Misha prophet needs Subanya or done and do a Hanomua. Me who say, or Becassa Bribi say Besicra Hagana for Bedina.
I want to say, although we've
Jenny, I want to Abama sorry because now you have come to me, it's met young mouth. Say, it is a old ultimate who say, when she say Bessie. Now, what you do on now, your cousin Mungo baby say, I'm in Cobidia. That's all by you to meet no matter what.
ABC.
ABC.
Also for like the story of the angel of death coming from eternity into time. There are some things they are unavoidable. Yeah, but you all agree with me. Say accident is see. And only a deep for so natural disaster, national phenomenon, they all happen all the time since the time immemorial, prehistoric years, past years, and currently. And but sometimes no, a young coupon based on obi individual be oba wenim. Association be collaboration be as you rightly indicated say osofo no ana na one ebi a papa na encounter da enunti na ebi a nyamede sa ediye no enam ne so ema papa no as you said. And believe you me, if that prophetic word was adhered to a revelation no and as a deliverance no kebesa omo na efa ho ni nyina say good, because association can lead somebody to his doom. An association can lead somebody to his elevation, depending on the time neighbor.
I love your what can they say? I love it. But this is the point. On the other side, the other prophet said he saw something about concerning poison, that the way he was treated, very bad, abysmal, to the point he said. Yes. And in the end, or what Canada near poison you but the whole mobile friend was saying
that I
came to you. It is this person, whether he is authentic or not authentic, when your message be a war, which is all be fear you.
Debbie.
If you namin
manager, that is you move we get genuine content, genuine messages. But attack no and free we are full is coming from within, especially from Christians. And once on the free bow, and when they are sometimes a money was it 2 weeks ago? I had a message concerning one NDC Guru B. And I have a contact with that particular person. 4 years ago, I had a message involving an accident with that NDC, that big NDC man, against an NDC personnel beer, and they be ye moding, okay. And when I had that message, na omenya accident. Anytime be as NDC ni penini, ebenya accident be anasa guy no ka home. But I was asking God why. But the reason why later I got to know, say, because I nim boy in Intino, and Untina, ebi enyame edit our revelation or yet the because anytime be a nasa gold board, nipano ebenya accident biano, I'm giving mema a yuaha, okay, a clue sa gold board nipano ebenya accident ni biano, nasa NDC ni boy no eka home, and he was somebody I know, but obi a mini free crew bako. So I contacted him through Messenger. Into Messenger, no, he reached out and I said, "This is what I've seen." But who someone accident 3 times, 2024, sometime I election. Now, accident be now nipa assume accident no. And on one night I had this dream 3 times. And you know, if you have any man of God, I mean, I mean, I'm a carrier of the message. So what the need be mammy say be I to us when you were that is there. But will be or on the sofa. Said the mechanic. When people get to a certain yes, when people get to a certain position in life, although omonam for famukra change. One in but we could do position be a FE on fa won yeshi biem. A hon nam for position will be do ne bachelor hon nam for befa. Until you giving him the message in Pokrano. Obeka church say be on the sofa. So I left him just like that. Okay, I never heard from him again. Okay, or the number my did in common at the Adi, but message ne the one shadan can Then about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I had the same dream. Dream that's repeating in 2025. So I recorded a message and I sent him. So that time na sa atorenchem we yaba na say message vina imnyano ebrebi echem no. Message no I've gotten the same message. And because Otako this TV station no, I have another message for a very big businessman be Ghana. 2022 I had a dream about him and now we free him. And we free him nem crop for na twa no ho ahia and we be the nechiwa de kan no free him. Now we free him no. Ojina sama do so ana me call ho na me say me yi me mfie so 3 years at the soul so say free asama do na brankwem. It was a dream. And immediately he came out. Esun a wosun nyina no jaye ojina esiye and me train no buy. And also for the reason why it was possible was because nipa no ye Saturday born, I'm a Saturday born. It is a masama clue. O do wadwen fa ho abehu nipa kro. He owns so many media houses. He's a businessman. I don't have access, but that which I'm going to do is I'm passing on the message to you. Ebia, if you come into contact media, will be a like I did some time ago. Say ubetu one am fine, but this is the message. Therefore, he wrote, "Thank you very much for the message," and that is that.
You know, there is something
And
of the
I'm done.
message and propelling the messenger to even go further. And you know,
And free the osheshe no one buy.
should we skip the authenticity of a prophecy and it's a prophet and carry on with the purpose? Because as ye ya to say wonam be keke no be share but them be share ka just say wo ko ye be fa ho no san ho kwa. It seems say ye nipa ye career no wait here.
Yeah.
So when I'm what yes from her baby. Bantima bonded, but them be who go ye be found who is son, or baby from grade you couldn't baby.
But also for one thing, so say as a name no. Say koye but them in a car, conform a car, people tend to gravitate towards that one more than prophets. You know why? Because any dear mother prophetic above them. The answer is not far-fetched.
Me mostly near kind the delivery of a message and the messenger. Say but two of the most powerful attacks Satan the Bible was based on the word of God. Number one, Oba evil journal. That Genesis chapter 3 verse 4. Or saying the serpent said unto the woman, "You shall surely not die." Mudia biabanwa. Nyamizu mubu wabuamu. Yeba verse 7, 3 verse 7 now. Was it Mudia biabani we and omumi and when buebui? Question to read is that the interpretation of the prophecy was given wrongly. Not surely so omubewu and now their bodies will die.
Yeah.
But rather they would die a
Spiritual death. Yeah.
But on the wrong interpretation through a good message in the Bible.
Bye.
Did they die? No, they did not die.
They did not die. But omoni ne
But
be
7 verse 7 was no mummy and when you
and name one Quebec say also for national control. Yeah.
So sometimes if you want to get the authenticity of the messenger before the message. Now one run with the purpose.
Sure.
And to me, I believe that words are spirit. And this divination and the divine we are talking about in Nano, a spirit.
Sure.
Said the Abraham, Tata no Abraham, no frabusum, Abusumfian and what Yen and Namina Abusum. What to what happened was in because such as Abraham. So the free word I know the fear. The cause I say I made sure was one.
And even also for with Abraham, I think he had a wife. He also had a concubine. And yeah, and
sometimes God goes beyond the lifestyle of a man and seek for the one available. Because sometimes even the one consecrated for the purpose ain't available. The one consecrated for the purpose, for the sending, for the errand, ain't available. And when God wants to deliver a message, media, he looks more for the available person. In I don't need a prophet to prophesy to me. And man is tripartite. Body, spirit, and soul. And to me, sit down. I'm so need that. So one night in your plane crashing, or Momobian so die, and who.
Yeah.
Because Nipa any Pedriangua. Nipa any Pedriangua, so and from Abona Humanity.
Also for share messages about krana messages about ya there were people and the wife no krana on said there were indications in kakra nature say as na bibi ebe then bibi
the message of the prophet always comes as a confirmation to the ones that you have received that on for buobi and I need you and I said seriousness being a day. Sometimes a prophet will prophesy to you. Now one man confirmation so I deal with cross say Etiana say Kurana Asha say. That's a mostly na me be kasa pa gidigidi na enema bia one. Yakura ya mu ya bu ya niaguso. Obetu kwan waso da ya wu sem kwan hiasi. Ena ya na enkrofo bi cassette ya na ada odifo bi abeba be hye nkoma na yewu. Odifo bi abeba ba hye nkoma na yewu. One dientia. I don't want to come in here, but I want to throw it to you. The Odifo be a baba shankom na no dia, or so the Ube. To say the Yeni Abema, and where rapper ya, men can't go away on robbery. Could it is off your team said? Dear, now, would me be one at the Wakan Agent.
Also,
Call me plus.
Medium, there be perceivable booty.
Also, one,
so on a
rapper. One thing in life, I na dear back see when say, Abrabomuno. Every new level be attaining in life be no new level be no a commanding new devil. Climbing, no, it's not a problem. But after attainance, there have to be maintenance. And how do you maintain? Maintaining that consistency, it's not easy. Getting to the top, you are virtually unknown. But when you get to the top, a horn and knee fixated on you. Inti udum pempenso abedru no, and a betrebon some quebebo abrabum. Inti I am tempted to believe, say now you are on ground zero, attack no less. But when you get to the very apex and the very summit in life, when you say a honor bon some for no. Okay.
The woman said, Bonsambe to me the malaria kunwa, on Hana home macabre usually. And that will come. There's awful party, I don't know. At your lowest stage, the Bonsambe to me a country more and to coffee and be a bozama about Wasuma more charge you are. When Yeshua said he will need a plane crash. Look at the people who were involved in this crash. Very prominent people.
And the other like no nana make us say udum pempensubia. I believe and I have this conviction say even getting to that top one reason or the other you got a revelation or a prophecy to that effect. Maybe a big crash in a shell Hong Kong now they could do some pempenso. Attaining that height in life Also for when we say or more only or mobile encounter I've always been saying this. Ghanaian will want you to win. But the moment you start winning, they want to bring you down. It's when you say we could do a surwa. What time for crab yardos watching wadofo. People would want you to win. But whenever they see or when they see you winning, they tend to want to bring you down. If they are me person me train say let me wrap up. They are me person me train say esrohono. It's not easy staying afloat. And most of way ebia revelations na bebano, attacks na bebano, and I said near me bebano, more or less attacks, even though you have people are almost also here then epewasem. And in a nutshell, and I say generally the me person me train say udu soro ha osofo ya share and I said the revelation about you ne say ubewu should we tell you you are about to travel at the end of the day you know and come share papa ne bone hwan ne deba u kodu soro me yeshia so obi na share come na de kodu soro when there is a revelation about your premature destruction or demise o make sure say yen kan kire we say we be too kwan. Because I also have the conviction we prophesy a lot of good things about people. Although now we need her, and I got to a time I see I saw from preaching revelation. Yeah, mom preaching about ubedi nyami bishra, and I want this of course. It is a prosperity message, no. You prosper now. If you could do some pempen so na. Else one who could do how be a person what you.
What is making the prophetic realm and the prophetic no? What is making it so abysmal? And for they be attacked mostly because it is very hard for you to see here attacking a pastor. Not to talk of even an evangelist. So evangelist then attempt the being a debate in attempt to be because the evangelist could not we are it's because but the prophetic they're from the days of old.
Oh, it's because a cataboni we were frame.
So for some Catabonia, now you won't grow for be Abira, Gotam, any datum,
Kunikura, yeah, sure.
Datum, any Kora. Some Crofo was originated Moses. Ekatrel said, Yantia said the entire
this one quantity. I'd say any say, I say, as I say, any say, or mon pese one at the Suma Cradia behind, which I believe the enemy also frowns on that. And a point number 2. Among Christians, not that them can attacks the free as if we free Christians, no. I didn't know no, never. That is exactly what Dothan and Co did against Moses.
But I don't say the numbers can say. There have been prophets almost so almost false prophets.
It's also there.
And society no. Make us me actually. On say nipa bi dia yem hihye bi atonkrofo bi so. On say sa prophecy any prophecy spring up or Ghana no. Amanfo be breed to the actually.
Yeah.
Amanfo be breed o makoma no bibia no musika bibia e the actually.
Sure.
And I don't na answer for.
Yeah.
It is making it very difficult for the genuine ones, to come up.
Yeah.
Into society, So society, I form some sort of misconception be about prophets.
Yeah. Yeah. It's also true.
So, and do now so kind of lifestyle almost live our society so in question.
Yeah.
Because you believe you say, you're so there, you are supposed to live a certain kind of
lifestyle. I know, sure.
That is where the deception is coming from.
And bueno, I was say as of a lot of educating people. So because in any as of no, if you say so for there, I was say we live certain way. Be na say
maybe.
Obeka me chere me a meanfa.
Because that's in a pebisa.
You understand? There may and we be na oh yeah. And that is where the problem is coming from. And bia I was said, said the government first oh yeah.
No regulate.
Say at the end bar.
Okay, I stand to be corrected. It's Honorable Elvis Tofiakwa.
I think a free ankra is a prayerful person.
Yes,
I've known that in the past.
On your software there,
but yeah, he's more or less a spiritualist.
Yes. Or to say Honorable Sam George, also omo sorry, omo fa sorry ko niagro.
I just want to
know. Be amongst friends government in
and I believe say no but on the head of the
but ono krampo no on say eye bibia ono na lead but e bia ba adwuma na nkasa nyo no be
yeah I say he's representing the government
government no ni so ade hunu omde but now they are beginning to pay attention to prophecies.
He is championing that cause.
Yes and ya form a group bi na na to ano say see to this.
We should applaud the government.
Exactly. And to the point I was trying to make, and say, and the government, say, no, prophecy is about time and we took you serious.
But now we have lost lives, we have lost assets.
Yes. Now, I'm on you are also cry some.
The prophecies were given where we hearkened to the prophecies.
Yes.
And I see are not quite
exactly. You see, and also for be crown pono have taken offense to the fact that I didn't fear and crana. But they are refusing to understand. They say it's an institution, a government, or they have a boss animal. And it is all we are. It's a prophecy. If indeed they come, then obey invited or more nim. As of for exactly. No, after prophets or more tis annual we are say. No matter say if indeed it is true, I bomb exactly.
Okay, of course, prophecies must be judged.
Said you're watching them. I almost took an offense. Yes. Government appointees.
Yes.
But I said you would treat me. I'm not Betty as I say. Okay, and your prophecy in the bar. Not for only the authenticity, for the purpose.
Yes, for the purpose. And I think so authenticity no crowd. We should not pay attention to the authenticity, but rather no. What is the message?
Because okay. I'm sure some company be actually come now to some friends or Murphy or Bob Shenika. I am a home by even though should buy bunny be crowd, you see to be in Africa with the obey decent. But you not even look at more of ni your yet on Fanano in the chip. Because what I know is that when the spirit comes upon a man,
yes,
the spirit and not to me boni pass or prekakra to the delivery no question marks and then now guys I am come here question marks and even Ezekiel, to my knowledge, didn't give respect to the prophecy of the prophet. He did not give respect to the prophet, rather. When a prophet has come to you, prophesied to you, say ABC. Now was all consulting, consulting the giver of the message. But now he wanted to say on why capable
mediator, intercessor.
Yes, though, when God wanted to speak again, he spoke through the same prophet.
It means that as a conversation say when it comes to the divine power, no, he still sees some people say omoyen and Crawford.
Sure. Definitely.
And he says, "See, and you be here. Number seven, me message be about me. I'll give the message to the workers here." And I said, "This will be a war outside." When I say, "As I'm not I'll give the message to the workers here to carry it out."
Definitely,
there.
But when you member the structure is not even strong. What is the principle goal?
But yet again, was the chance for everybody to come to him through prayers.
Definitely.
Nti obi abetimi abom prayer chi Nyakopon. But Nyakopon enu asema eba no. Or pass it through
some people. Okay, so in other words, no. I'm just throwing more light on their work. No. Obi abetimi akonyame anim ewo mpaebo mu said okan ye no. But the message about the channel, the medium or the conduit through which any message will be delivered onto the nation or for some people, it will be through some people. I should demarcate, yes, and then I should you my day. Even though sometimes if you correct me, because of course, in God is everywhere. But God does not perform everywhere. And not with everybody. And even with them, there are some people who are intercessors, yes, and there are some people they are not. Yes. Although manager who and Crawford yet deliver message a more, no more bomb pie or more Sunday, no more bomb pie, and I still not at the NSC. So it means sometimes one thing is to say, when you one way God. There are times that me a bomb pie and obit me the ojiaba. And there are other times you need to go through God through maybe an intercessor. And sometimes in Poebi Krana, the origin dino, maybe or no crabbe book, crabby eye edge, maybe I just will be for said he's not a one way God. And our God, as we know, is not does not have mobility problem. Or food bit me a phobia so the OGI. So in Ezekiel's case, no, it was a situation whereby a message was delivered and God delivered through Nipana. Yeah, the message no command no. And the voice of the Lord came for the second time. But a no chain also Ezekiel was a man in position and a man in authority. But before saying Yamedu or Jebebre Ezekiel, no, now he first had to adhere to the first word that Edika buy a call of prophecy a call of prophetic words, and that came through the prophet. And for the second time, no, and son and Yamedi or Jieba Ezekiel, so for the second time, no we kind a voice, a message about for the first time, and we hear a voice of the prophetic and the voice from the prophecy. And the answer now be Yamene, I do a Jieba no. First, I say uti Yamenia, Edika this uncommission here then a buy. It means, in other words, no, you can be a man in position, but you cannot be a man with solution, because a man in position will always have to go to a man with solution. You can be a man in position, but you will not be a man with solution. To bit me, I will to me. Yesterday I was listening to one man of God be a or hine kesi binya impu na hine decide say obeko so for ne ho na wakochia no so for no ka say oh oya me hine nti mi mo meye de meko no Archbishop Duncan Williams and ka sa same way nti ode ani die e ma ohine no. But one thing I also like ne say ye nana ya die nyina no or respect, even with respect to Nahini and any position or no, or the NDA at the ma Nyamin Crawford, and it's something I like about him. And you know, all in all, no, I believe we all have our part to play. Nyame a bit minimum a day so through and Crawford, and there are people demarcated strategically to be carriers of the word. We need to listen to them. And then Nyame so bit me fire, and so sometimes because there are a lot of people they dream pa. We be also that you remember sorry, we be sorry, but also that is and maybe BBC and yes, no. Of course. Maybe sometimes even ordinary people.
Yes, maybe some question be say it's a message in the bar. I didn't tell a young call the Ezekiel friends a way no young kunipano. Now we choose to be in our churches. Near so come so near command the whole world.
One thing is I'm saying you can't boy and also access no is a problem.
Good. Because say access in any horn into no young can from him.
No one say one thing is a do and yet necessarily so coming from him. Or yeah, sorry. And maybe a camera is see her, and I say camera see so, and oh yeah, sorry no. And maybe when the message comes, because it borders about an individual be a or yeah a man in position, you know, and maybe a honor near highlight here, because I believe in the context of the day, a lot of messages were given, but because a big go off the radar because they are virtually unknown, but on more be on known no, or more no crown what's the deal. Sometimes message in a map on you, as any see we are, and you could play old videos in the back. Yesterday, this idea, no?
Yeah, mostly, no.
It means your messages be a buyer, it be a deliverance by, it be a decronancy. Until you will not even know or get to know, say, will be crash at Hong Kong. But the ABC, no, and no, maybe sometimes the other message, no, eba. And may I show say, be crying your monk, it be a was so for you or crowd more baby. It be almost kind. It be almost kind, but because of what they are not there off camera, you know, maybe we didn't even get to hear them.
Okay, so fine. So Moka, that's a off camera. Maybe your impression be say I know or more person can is here. I'm from say yes, he's truly a man of God.
But one thing is let me also chip in, you know, also okay. So from angle be Kokachre used to say Nadam for the Lazarus. First when see what information being by say Lazarus I well would you trick or although Unyane Lazarus no go and read the scriptures again or call ya over not a dom to it whether you like it or not. Obi Ewua share Bible say he taketh away the king, okay, and he seated the king. Always no, there's always strife and there's always contention. And anytime Bia will be back from Bia is also an indication for somebody to rise, whether we like it or not. I've seen situation, Diogo Jota, Liverpool player that we there were a lot of people who did not even know that guy. Maybe on social media, 2 million. When you accident VA, a month for postino, and some social media, every 2 million, they are covered 5 million. No. Ena yeah then ebi obi kan ho asema ka nipa krono be known by reason of the fact that Diego Jota is a man in position and when here is a man in position and come shall ye shefa nipa bebre ho but because the man sometimes a pager would do for no and a do for the cost no by virtue of the fact say you share in Hong Kong at that particular point in time no you be a watching enti we won't say yes in century ni bi wo Bible mu a e bi wo ha wo ye ya e dom tu e be di na chi as to e kwan ye fa so e ba sa na de ji se Nyankopɔn ko a dem mo e bi wo ha wo be ma automatically ya nya mi juma na che but the be blow no one particular message or one particular thing but nya mi juma na so na wo ye.
Okay, well, with respect to time, I think we will wrap up with the impact that a prophecy brings or lays upon an individual and the community at large. Mfaso ben ena nkomhye yes that or komhyefo nkomhye ene ne mamu edebre onipa ana oman.
It may answer by asking a question.
All right.
Which one is a
Chami,
thank you. Chairman in the Jumedi language.
He carries the message from the king and a message from outside to the king.
Intercessor something or this.
That is the job of the prophet.
All right.
One and I a vessel how carry out the message. Now obi tibia when I
All right.
but me and financial arguments say most and sometimes and you say be a message in a bar if it's my home pie there but you never pen obey.
Sure.
So into prophets are very important because God needs to send messages, carry messages across to his people.
Okay.
It's only now we the vessel through which I'll carry messages.
Okay.
And a prophecy is also there. The Abu prophecy here. And he said, would you two nas away? We know it. See, be crampon and yet that instant the crown. Eventually, the always a seminary, you know, and they say, yen to your coupon, as a seminary, and they say, in through your coupon.
Okay.
Heaven is the ultimate goal. Even crown is a team messenger. No, that's a message in a crown, no, be a later class, you will not be wompa. You are sure to say there's a wizard. There's some time to come.
Right.
So it is if there are no prophets, if there are no prophecies, you know,
life is spiritual.
You better say
Attention, Uru.
But when the prophets come, when the prophecies come, I feel not that.
Okay.
To one more, no more.
In the Bible, crack as a real so the Wason. Until the home not capture us of.
Say some death be any maybe I could.
We could have, yeah.
No, the other time David said, Abner, you died a foolish death.
Yeah.
You
could have.
Your feet were not gagged,
your hands were not tied.
Because say your children on Sunday, your children on 9 years. Could be able to say any would that woo and pass on. It's a kidnappers are chill. A 50-50, you can come back alive and then you can be killed. But all that happened to Abner was that somebody stabbed him, and it was a close power. David Casher and said, Abner, who are we? It also brings you to the understanding that and you'll be any winning time. There are some death to be. Of course, Caesar, not for.
So in this contest, Neyerno operated as a prophetess.
Yes.
Which means that divinity or divination can pick up the available, because I know that time the available person was a wife.
And she had a dream. Say Nikuno Eda a pool of blood. Now, or I'm not pushing Brutus, so you're down for power.
Okay.
But I need to donate that blood in occasions. I am having a bad feeling about this encounter. This is the dream I have had. Then I'll say, Madame Funameneko. So he ignored the
wife.
The wife,
and went with the friend.
No,
all right, so I think time will not allow us to continue that much, but probably or definitely we will be continuing this segment next 2 days or next week, if it is set. Next 2 days, right? I have a producer there, and say boy. So the authenticity the purpose and the impact it brings to an individual and a community. I think that life is more spiritual, and you cannot go beyond the spirituality of life. Now, you succeed in everything that you do, because besides shebre yakataso, I just will be biesu ma, and I abua ma biesu. Now to be biesu and then wedding could mo shebre mo. Now I know say the people that watched us and the ones that watch us after we have even closed, because I was will learn something from what we've said and debate because no questions, just drop it at the comment section. God bless you. May God empower you. If you want to sponsor our program, the doors are open widely. By prophetically, let's remove the covering from your work. Prophecy. So prophecy comes in many channels, and this might be your channel through which your empowerment will be activated. Within the rich Demfi, I have my Mr. Manager today, then Apostle Benson, the producer, the brain behind, or Shechiro Chinchimfidi, who's a camera, and any Dahona sound and a corrector, a friend of Brantepa, a wedding, a singing, a wedding, what them, single room, no bitch me, I be chinchim camera number, and I'm sure on your case here. Shalom, peace. Bye bye.
Bye.